What if everything you thought you knew about love was wrong? What if love isn't just about feelings, but about action, trust, and resilience? Love isn't a fairy tale, it's a choice. And if you want a love that lasts, you need to understand the deeper truths behind it. Let's uncover the secrets to real, lasting love. Secrets that have stood the test of time. Love is an action, not just a feeling. Feelings are fleeting, they come and go like the changing seasons, but actions define the true measure of love. When we talk about love, we often think of the warmth, the excitement, and the butterflies that come with the initial stages of a relationship. But those feelings, as powerful as they are, cannot sustain love on their own. Love is not simply about how you feel in a given moment. It's about what you choose to do consistently, even when the feelings fade, even when circumstances change, even when the path gets difficult. Feelings might spark love, but actions are what sustain it. Love is demonstrated through what you give, not just what you receive. Real love asks for patience, sacrifice, and effort. It's about showing up when it's hard, forgiving when it's painful, and choosing to care even when the other person isn't at their best. It's easy to love when things are going well, when you feel seen and valued, when the connection feels effortless. But true love reveals itself in the moments when things aren't easy, when misunderstandings arise, when tempers flare, when life brings unexpected challenges. It's in those moments that love becomes a choice. And that choice is made not through grand gestures or fleeting emotions, but through consistent, quiet acts of loyalty, kindness, and grace. The world often sells a version of love that is rooted in how someone makes you feel. If they make you feel good, you think you love them. If they stop making you feel good, you think love is gone. But that is not love. That is emotional dependence. Real love isn't about being swept off your feet every day. It's about standing firm when life threatens to pull you down. It's about showing up with kindness when the other person is stressed, listening with patience when they are overwhelmed, and offering support when they feel weak. Love is not about perfection. It's about consistency. When you truly love someone, you don't wait for them to deserve it. You don't wait for them to meet some impossible standard. You love them despite their flaws, despite their imperfections. And that kind of love is an action, a conscious decision to see past the surface and into the heart. It's understanding that no one is perfect, that mistakes will be made, and that there will be days when you don't feel particularly loving. But love steps in where feelings falter. Love says, "I choose you," even when it's not easy. Love stays when feelings try to convince you to walk away. Love is not a transaction, it's a gift. Too often, people give love conditionally. They love when their partner meets expectations, when their needs are fulfilled, when they feel happy. But real love is not measured by how much you receive. It's measured by how much you give without expecting anything in return. Love is found in the quiet sacrifices, the willingness to put someone else's needs before your own, to listen without judgment, to forgive without holding on to resentment. Love is not about winning or losing. It's about choosing to stay connected even when the situation is messy, even when the outcome is uncertain. Love is patience. It's holding space for someone when they're figuring things out, when they're healing, when they're growing. It's not trying to fix them or rush them. It's standing by them with unwavering faith. Love doesn't demand instant gratification. It understands that growth takes time, that healing is not linear, and that sometimes loving someone means giving them the room to struggle without stepping away. Love isn't always about solving the problem. It's about being present through the process. It's speaking with gentleness, even when you feel frustrated. It's offering compassion, even when you're hurting. It's choosing words that uplift instead of words that wound. Love knows that you cannot take back the words you speak in anger, and that cutting someone down never builds a stronger connection. Love is measured by how you handle conflict, not by avoiding it, but by choosing to engage with respect and understanding. Love listens before it speaks, seeks to understand before it seeks to be understood. Love is forgiveness. Not because the other person always deserves it, but because holding on to resentment weighs down the heart. Forgiveness isn't saying that what happened was okay. It's saying that you refuse to let it define the relationship. Love knows that mistakes are inevitable, but bitterness is a choice. Love chooses to release the past so that the future can have a chance. It chooses to see the other person as more than their worst moment. It believes that growth is possible, that redemption is real. Love offers grace not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Love is loyalty. It's choosing to stay when it's tempting to leave. It's believing in the relationship even when the outside world questions it. Love doesn't look for the nearest exit when things get hard. It digs deeper. It works through the discomfort. It stands by its promises. Love is not looking for perfection. It's looking for progress. It's knowing that storms will come, but trusting that you'll face them together. Love understands that leaving is easy, but staying is strength. Love is presence. It's not about what you can give financially, what you can offer materially. It's about the gift of your time, your attention, your care. Love shows up in the small moments, in the conversations over dinner, in the hand held during a difficult time, in the quiet understanding exchanged through a look. Love doesn't require extravagance. It thrives in the simplicity of connection. It's not about doing everything right. It's about being there. Love is acceptance. It's not trying to change someone or mold them into a version of themselves that suits you better. Love is about embracing the person as they are, flaws and all, while encouraging them to grow. Love knows that true connection isn't found in perfection, it's found in authenticity. Love doesn't ask someone to shrink to fit into your life. It expands to make room for them. It understands that the greatest gift you can give someone is the freedom to be fully themselves without fear of rejection. Love is sacrifice. It's giving even when you don't feel like it. It's compromising even when it's inconvenient. Love understands that it's not always about what you want. It's about what the relationship needs. Love is setting aside pride to meet in the middle. It's not about losing yourself. It's about finding strength in choosing to put the relationship first. Love knows that sacrifice is not weakness. It's a reflection of strength. Love is resilience. It's the ability to keep going when it would be easier to quit. Love is not destroyed by hardship. It's refined by it. True love faces adversity with courage. It knows that challenges are not signs to give up. They are opportunities to grow deeper. Love adapts. Love perseveres. Love holds steady when everything else seems to be falling apart. Love is not the absence of struggle. It's the strength to endure it together. Love is vulnerability. It's the courage to be seen fully and completely, with all your fears and insecurities laid bare. Love creates a space where both people feel safe enough to be their true selves without fear of judgment. Love is not about hiding your weaknesses. It's about sharing them with someone who sees them and chooses to stay. Love knows that true intimacy is built on openness and honesty, not perfection. Love is grace. It's the willingness to give someone the benefit of the doubt. It's choosing not to keep score, not to hold on to past mistakes, not to assume the worst. Love is not naive. It's trusting in the goodness of the other person, even when they fail. Love believes in redemption. It knows that no one is perfect, but that everyone is worthy of love. Love is not measured by what you feel. It's measured by what you do. Feelings will fade, excitement will wane, but love remains through action. Love chooses to show up, to care, to forgive, to stay. Love doesn't rely on perfection or constant emotional highs. It thrives through consistency, through loyalty, through quiet moments of kindness. Love is not simply a feeling, it's a daily decision to give, to trust, to believe. Love is not what you say, it's what you do. Trust and communication are the foundation of love. Without them, love becomes fragile, unstable, and uncertain. Love cannot thrive in an environment where trust is lacking, where honesty is questioned, and where understanding is absent. Trust is the glue that holds love together, and communication is the bridge that allows it to grow and deepen. Without trust, love becomes poisoned by doubt and suspicion. Without communication, love suffocates under the weight of misunderstanding and confusion. Love is not just about the good moments. It's about the willingness to work through the difficult ones. And that work is only possible when trust and communication are present. Trust is not given, it is earned. It is not demanded, it is built. Trust is created through consistency, honesty, and reliability. When you say you'll be there, and you are, trust grows. When you speak the truth, even when it's uncomfortable, trust deepens. Trust is not about perfection. It's about knowing that the other person is real, transparent, and accountable. Trust is not destroyed by mistakes, it's destroyed by deception. You don't have to be perfect to be trusted, you have to be honest. Trust thrives when both people feel safe enough to be vulnerable, to express their fears and insecurities without the fear of betrayal. Trust is knowing that someone will protect your heart even when you're not looking. It's knowing that they won't use your weaknesses against you. Trust is not built overnight. It's built through the quiet, consistent actions that prove reliability over time. When someone shows up for you repeatedly, when they listen to you without judgment, when they keep their promises, trust begins to form. It is not the grand gestures that build trust. It's the daily consistency, the quiet loyalty, the willingness to stand by each other through both calm and chaos. Trust is built when you know that the other person won't leave when things get messy. Trust is fragile. It takes time to build, but only a moment to break. A single lie, a single betrayal, a single moment of dishonesty can shatter trust in an instant. That's why protecting trust requires constant effort. It means telling the truth even when it's difficult. It means apologizing when you're wrong. It means taking responsibility for your actions instead of making excuses. Trust is not just about faith in the other person. It's about proving through your actions that you are trustworthy. Trust is reinforced every time you align your words with your behavior. When you say one thing and do another, trust weakens. But when your actions consistently reflect your words, trust solidifies. Trust is also about forgiveness. People will fail you. They will let you down. Trust is not about expecting perfection. It's about giving grace when mistakes happen. But forgiveness does not mean blind trust. It means understanding that rebuilding trust requires effort, consistency, and accountability. Trust can survive failure when there is honesty and a willingness to repair what was broken. Trust is not about pretending nothing happened, it's about creating space for honesty and healing. Trust grows stronger when both people are willing to face difficult truths together, without defensiveness or avoidance. Communication is the lifeline of love. Without it, even the strongest connection will wither. Love is not sustained by silence. It is sustained by words, by listening, by understanding. Communication is not just about talking. It's about truly hearing the other person. It's about setting aside your assumptions, your defensiveness, and your need to be right. Communication is not about winning an argument. It's about understanding each other's hearts. Love is not built through constant agreement. It's built through the willingness to have hard conversations with honesty and respect. Good communication requires vulnerability. It means expressing how you feel without fear of judgment or rejection. It means being honest about your needs, your fears, your insecurities. It's not about pretending everything is fine when it isn't. It's about trusting that the other person can handle the truth. Communication is not about perfection. It's about openness. It's about creating a safe space where both people can speak honestly without fear of retaliation or dismissal. Love grows when both people feel heard, understood, and valued. Communication is also about listening, not just hearing words, but understanding the heart behind them. Too often, people listen to respond instead of listening to understand. Real communication happens when you put aside your own thoughts, your own agenda, and your own defenses to truly hear what the other person is saying. It's about giving your full attention, asking questions, and reflecting back what you hear. It's about recognizing the emotions behind the words, the unspoken fears and hopes that shape what's being said. Communication thrives when both people feel that their emotions and perspectives are being honored, not dismissed. Misunderstandings will happen. Even the most connected people will misinterpret each other's words and actions at times. But communication creates the space to clear those misunderstandings. When you assume the worst without seeking clarity, trust erodes. But when you're willing to ask questions instead of making accusations, when you're willing to explain instead of expecting the other person to read your mind, understanding grows. Love is not about never making mistakes. It's about the willingness to repair them through open, honest communication. Communication is not just about difficult conversations. It's also about expressing love and appreciation regularly. Too often, people assume that the other person knows how they feel, but love needs to be spoken, affection needs to be voiced, gratitude needs to be expressed. Silence breeds distance. Love is strengthened when both people are willing to say, "I love you, I appreciate you, thank you, and I'm sorry." Love is built when both people feel emotionally safe enough to express their needs and desires without fear of judgment or rejection. Love requires the courage to speak up when something feels off. Suppressing your feelings to keep the peace only breeds resentment. True love creates space for difficult conversations. It's about being able to say, "I need more from you, I feel hurt, and I'm scared," without fear of being abandoned. Love thrives when both people are committed to working through challenges instead of avoiding them. Communication allows you to face problems together rather than letting them fester in silence. Love also requires the willingness to receive feedback without defensiveness. When someone tells you how they feel, it's not an attack, it's an invitation to understand them better. Communication is not about blame, it's about connection. It's about being open to hearing how your actions affect the other person, without immediately trying to justify or defend yourself. Love grows when both people are willing to adjust, to compromise, and to honor each other's emotional reality. Communication strengthens love when both people feel emotionally safe enough to be honest without fear of retaliation. Trust and communication go hand in hand. Without trust, communication feels dangerous. It feels like handing over ammunition that could be used against you. Without communication, trust becomes fragile, uncertainty breeds suspicion, and silence becomes the breeding ground for doubt. When trust and communication are present, love feels safe. You know that the other person will hear you, understand you, and protect you. You know that even when things get hard, they won't abandon you. You know that misunderstandings won't lead to separation, they will lead to deeper understanding. Love requires the constant work of building trust and maintaining open communication. It's not a one-time effort, it's a daily commitment. Trust is built through honesty, consistency, and grace. Communication is strengthened through openness, listening, and understanding. Love grows when both people feel emotionally secure enough to be themselves without fear of rejection or betrayal. Love is not about perfection, it's about the willingness to grow together through honesty and vulnerability. Love thrives when trust and communication are present. When you trust that the other person has your back, when you know that they will hear you and understand you, love feels like home. It feels safe, it feels steady. Love does not crumble under pressure when trust and communication are strong. It deepens. Love becomes a source of strength, not a source of insecurity. Love is not sustained by feelings alone. It is sustained by the quiet, daily work of showing up with honesty and listening with care. Trust and communication are not optional. They are the foundation of lasting love. Commitment and resilience sustain love through challenges. Love is not defined by how perfect things are when life is easy. It's defined by how you show up when things get hard. It's easy to love when the sun is shining, when the days are smooth, and when everything feels aligned. But true love is tested when storms arrive, when disagreements arise, and when circumstances push you to the edge. Love that lasts is not built on convenience or fleeting feelings. It's built on the willingness to stay, to work, and to fight for each other even when it's hard. Commitment is not about feeling good all the time. It's about making a decision to stay even when it's uncomfortable. It's easy to commit when you're happy, but true commitment is proven when things become difficult. It's the decision to choose love even when you feel frustrated, misunderstood, or hurt. Commitment means saying, "I'm not walking away just because it's hard." It means standing by each other when things get complicated. It means working through problems instead of running from them. Love without commitment is fragile. It falls apart at the first sign of trouble. But love with commitment is strong. It weathers storms and becomes stronger on the other side. Resilience is the strength to endure the rough seasons without giving up. Love will be tested. Life will throw unexpected obstacles your way. There will be disappointments, misunderstandings, and painful moments. Resilience means standing together through the hard times. It means not letting setbacks define the relationship. Resilience is knowing that rough patches are not signs of failure. They are opportunities to grow. Resilient love means facing challenges head-on instead of avoiding them. It means refusing to let external pressure or internal struggles break the bond you've built. Resilience is the ability to bend without breaking, to adjust without losing sight of each other. Love is not a fairy tale. It's a commitment to stand by each other even when reality isn't perfect. When life gets hard, when stress builds, when misunderstandings grow, commitment means staying and finding a way through. It's about looking at the person you love and deciding, "I will fight for this." Resilience means understanding that problems don't mean the relationship is broken. It means the relationship is being stretched, and stretching can lead to growth if you're willing to face it together. Commitment requires sacrifice. It means putting aside your own ego, your own pride, and your own desire to be right. It means choosing the relationship over your own comfort. Commitment is not about control. It's about surrender. It's about giving up the need to win every argument or prove a point. It's about asking, "What does the relationship need?" instead of asking, "What do I want?" Commitment means showing up even when it's hard, even when you feel like walking away, even when it would be easier to quit. Resilience is about adapting, not breaking. It's about learning how to navigate difficult seasons instead of letting them destroy the connection you've built. Resilient love is not about avoiding pain. It's about moving through it together. It's about holding each other when things feel uncertain and reminding each other that you're not alone. Resilient love knows that failure is not the end. It's a moment to learn and rebuild. It knows that distance doesn't mean disconnection. It means you need to work harder to close the gap. Resilience means understanding that some days you won't feel close. But that doesn't mean love has disappeared. It means you have to reach for each other even when it's hard. Commitment is not about perfection, it's about consistency. It's not about always saying the right thing. It's about showing up even when you don't have the right words. Commitment means apologizing when you're wrong and forgiving when you're hurt. It means understanding that the person you love will make mistakes, just like you will. It means having the strength to say, "I was wrong," and the grace to say, "I forgive you." Commitment means understanding that love is not about keeping score. It's about working toward the same goal, even when you stumble along the way. Resilient love understands that conflict is not the enemy. Disconnection is. Conflict is inevitable when two different people try to build a life together. But resilient love means using conflict to grow closer rather than further apart. It means not avoiding hard conversations. It means listening instead of shutting down. It means being honest about your feelings instead of pretending everything is fine. Conflict can either create distance or deepen connection. It depends on how you handle it. Resilient love faces conflict with honesty and grace. It looks for solutions instead of placing blame. It creates space for both people to be heard without fear of rejection. Commitment is about protecting the relationship from external pressures. Life will test your relationship: financial struggles, family issues, career challenges. These things can create stress and tension. Commitment means understanding that the relationship is not the problem, it's the foundation. It's not you versus each other, it's both of you versus the problem. Commitment means creating a united front against the outside world. It means making decisions together, facing challenges together, and supporting each other even when things feel uncertain. Resilience is about emotional endurance. Love requires patience. It requires the ability to sit with discomfort without giving up. Resilience means staying even when it feels hard to connect. It means understanding that emotional distance can be closed with effort and time. Resilient love doesn't give up when things feel heavy. It doubles down. It looks for solutions. It asks, how can we reconnect, instead of assuming disconnection is permanent. Resilience means understanding that emotional highs and lows are normal. It means staying steady when things feel chaotic. Commitment is not just about staying, it's about staying with intention. It's not enough to remain in a relationship out of habit or fear of being alone. Commitment means choosing each other actively. It means continuing to prioritize the relationship even when life becomes busy or stressful. Commitment means making time for connection, even when it's inconvenient. It means choosing to have meaningful conversations, choosing to express affection, choosing to care even when you don't feel like it. Commitment is not passive. It's active. It requires daily effort, daily choice, and daily intention. Resilient love is about adjusting when life changes. People grow, circumstances shift. Love that lasts is able to adapt to new realities without losing its foundation. Resilience means understanding that the person you love will evolve, and so will you. Resilient love is flexible. It allows room for growth. It doesn't resist change. It learns how to thrive within it. Resilient love knows that some seasons will feel easy and others will feel hard. But the connection remains because both people are willing to adjust and grow together. Commitment and resilience create a foundation that can't be shaken. It's not about avoiding pain. It's about knowing that pain won't destroy the relationship. It's not about avoiding failure. It's about knowing that failure isn't permanent when both people are willing to rebuild. Love that lasts is not about luck. It's about the choice to stay, to work, and to grow together. It's about the willingness to endure the hard moments without giving up. Love requires strength. It requires the courage to face difficult moments without running away. It requires the grace to forgive and the humility to apologize. It requires the patience to endure slow seasons and the perseverance to rebuild after setbacks. Love is not always easy, but commitment and resilience make it possible. Love lasts when both people are willing to show up when it's hard, to stay when it's uncomfortable, and to work through challenges instead of walking away. Commitment means saying, "I'm not leaving just because it's hard." Resilience means saying, "We will figure this out together." Love that lasts is not built on convenience. It's built on the daily choice to stay, to work, and to care. It's built on the understanding that setbacks are not failures, they are opportunities to grow closer. Love is not about avoiding pain, it's about walking through it together. Love is not about perfection, it's about the strength to repair what's broken and the courage to build something even stronger. Love thrives when commitment and resilience are present. It survives storms, withstands pressure, and emerges stronger on the other side. Love lasts when both people decide that no matter what happens, they are in it together. Love isn't just something you feel, it's something you build, something you protect, and something you choose every single day. When you understand this, you'll not only find love, you'll create a love that lasts.